Welcome back to Trails of Cold Steel 2. We are in the final cutscene.
We did it.
Indeed, we earned our victory.
So that's it, I guess. Class 7's over.
Here, at least.
It's been a year I doubt I'll ever forget.
Yeah, it really has.
I had so much fun!
Oh, she shed a tear.
Huh? Why am I...
Milliam.
Are you?
What's wrong with me? I only came here 'cause Gramps ordered me to. So why am I... It's okay. There's nothing wrong with you at all.
Regardless of why you came to be here, you're as much a member of Class 7 as anyone else.
But there's no shame in crying when you feel sad. Yeah, that goes for us too.
The girl who didn't know anything about crying is finally crying. She even said it herself, she never really had emotions.
Come on, guys. Knock it off.
They're not the only ones who want to.
What a way for everything to end.
There's no point in pretending you don't want to cry, too.
Yeah, you're right.
They all care about each other so much.
Well, I didn't see this coming.
Yeah, but even still.
I swear, why do I have to feel like...
They've probably been bottling this up for quite some time.
I'm sure they have. And yet they've never let it show. They just kept looking forward.
To the very end, each of them walked the path they chose for themselves.
They're a real good group of kids.
And even Crow was there in spirit. Departure Day.
Well, I guess this is goodbye for now.
Take care of yourself, okay?
I promise to write to you when I can.
Thanks. I wish all of you the best too. Although, to be honest, I get the feeling we'll meet again before long.
So do I.
Besides, the Empire is smaller to us than it is to most people.
Yeah, if I use Lammy, I can be anywhere in no time.
This isn't goodbye as much as it is see you again soon.
In the meantime, we all have our share of duties to fulfill.
Yep. But as soon as they're done, well, you know.
Of course. Here's hoping our time apart treats every single one of us well.
And just look at those lino flowers bloom.
This is truly a season of new beginnings.
I suppose I might miss this scenery.
Okay, what's up with you guys?
Instructor?
For all that you've done for us this past year, thank you
very
very
much.
We wouldn't be here ready to start a new stage in our lives were it not for you.
Your teaching methods may have seemed unorthodox or even unreasonable at times, but it's hard to argue with the results.
We thought it was only right to take the time and thank you before we said goodbye.
So we decided to surprise you.
Still, given the opportunity, I would be happy to learn more from you someday.
You kids are just... Oh, now look what you've done. I was planning on being all cool and mature until the very end. And I was doing so well, too.
You lost sight of both cool and mature a long time ago.
Looks like our surprise was an A+ success.
I think we might have gone a little overboard, actually.
Maybe all this was a little too cruel, Emma.
It certainly seems that way. But I thought it would have been derelict of me as class president if we didn't do anything.
Oh, so this was your idea, was it?
And it begins.
What a wonderful way to bring everything to a close.
And off they go. And that's the end of Trails of Cold Steel 2. Overall, I gotta say, I really enjoyed Trails of Cold Steel 1. Trails of Cold Steel 2 took what was good about 1 and made it better. There were some things that needed to be getting used to, such as the double attack outside of battle and whatnot. And trying to get everybody back to where you had them in Trails of Cold Steel 1, you know, is typical of any RPG, but still very fun to do. You really get to know each of the characters and start to love every single one of them. I'd probably say my biggest gripe about this game is it didn't end when I felt it should have. I think they kind of dragged out the ending a bit more. Like when I did the fight against the Vermilion Knight, for example. I was under the impression that was it, that was in. I didn't really read much further into the guide I've been using throughout this entire thing. And was kind of like, okay, well, this is the end, this is how it ends. And I was wrong. I think they dragged it out a little bit too much, but I still like the way it ended overall. Now, there is still more to do in this game, and I do have more to do. However, there's a few things I can't do until a New Game Plus. There's an optional dungeon in Ymir that needs to be done. As well as extra items that only appear within a second playthrough of the game. And I seem to have missed one character note. And that was for Celine. I missed her second one, and I don't know where I missed it. So when I'm going back through the game, I'm going to have to really pay attention and figure out where that was. And looking back in one of my old videos, or one of my earlier videos, I also noticed that I forgot to show the last set of people that you needed to talk to before you completed the Reverie Corridor. So I'll go over that now. This way, those of you who have saved before that final boss can go back and get these characters. Before you beat that final boss, leave the old schoolhouse and go talk to Instructor Makarov in the faculty lounge, Margarita in the home ec room, Casper at the swimming pool in the gymnasium, Dorothy in the literature club in the student union building, Rex in the photography club in the same building, Colette and Becky in the auditorium. Also talk to Lot, who's the maid in front of the upper class dormitory, and Celestine within said dormitory. If you got everybody, including Celine's, unlike me, then that would have popped the trophy for this game, Intelligence Agent. So if those were the people you're missing, that's where you go and get them. You can also talk to them before you do that quest to Sharon with Love, which is the last quest in the game to give you the Divine Knight Errant trophy as well. Now, the items in New Game Plus that we need to go and get are items called the Black Records. And you have to receive a decoding report from him after school on March 12th. And you have to read that report before you go back to Reen's room in Class 7 on the dormitory that night. So what I'm probably planning on doing is showing where to get those reports in separate mini videos that'll probably only be like a couple of minutes long. I'll go back through and show where these black reports are and when you should use that decoding report that you get from Instructor Thomas. Now, from everything I've read up until now, there's an extra cutscene at the end if you do all that. And I'd like to be able to show that off as well. So whereas this is the final video for the main game, it is not the final video for this series. Not until I show off that very last cutscene at the very least. Now, much like the first Trails of Cold Steel game, the New Game Plus, you can start off on the Nightmare difficulty mode to get the other trophies that you need for that. You get New Game Plus points. Your first clear, you get 5 points. Second clear, you get 10. Third, you get 15. With the 15 points, you can unlock all of the extra stuff to carry over into a fourth New Game Plus if you so wanted to. That being Link levels and Overdrive, character levels, slot levels, Master Quartz levels, Mirror and Septith items, notebook data. And then there's like bonus outfits such as the bathing clothes, the Academy swimsuits, etc. So that's all stuff that you could do if you want to replay the game. Thank you for playing The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 2. But while this game may be over, Erebonia's story is only just beginning. And that brings me to the next major project that I have, which is Trails of Cold Steel 3. I have never played that game. Ever. I have it. I have never played it. Unlike Trails of Cold Steel 1, before I did the playthrough of that, I had already played the game. I had only played up to a certain point of Trails of Cold Steel 2 because I absolutely adored the series from day one. Trails of Cold Steel 3 is a whole different ballgame. I've seen a few videos of it, but I've never really gone into any of the story, who the characters are, and whatnot. I do believe you still follow Reen, but I'm not really sure what happens in there. So that'll be quite the adventure. However, I will also be using a guide for that, because for these games, I just like being able to use them. If you want to use the guide I was using for this game, once again, just like with Trails of Cold Steel 1, I went to psnprofiles.com. So feel free to use their guide just like I did, or follow my videos. I know I'm not the best at the walkthrough, but hopefully it helped you. So, until I get back to the next few videos, thank you for joining me, and we'll see you again in the next one.